Hi everyone, so welcome back to our discussion of inequality in India. So let's continue with this discussion. I am Sapna Goel, Assistant Professor in the Economics Department at Hansraj College. So right away, let's look at some of the numbers here. First, let's look at the headlines that have been there. So as you can see, the news here. So this has been the headline across most newspapers that India ranks fourth in income equality, even ahead of US and China. India becomes fourth most equal country globally, says World Bank report, right? And then there are some reports claiming that this is probably not the real data. India is not the fourth most equal country in the world. So let's try to understand these claims a bit more. Okay. So this is what the Indian Express article claims, that these are the top 10 most equal countries in the world. Let's see what are these countries. Okay, this is the ranking that we have going by the Gini coefficient. So India is at the fourth number, and the latest inequality number that we have is 25.5 for India. And the countries ahead of us are Belarus, Slovenia, Slovak Republic, okay, with a Gini coefficient of 24.1, 24.3 and 24.4. Now here is the tricky part. Now here is the problem, that this 25.5 in India is actually your consumption inequality. This number is based on consumption expenditure, whereas for other countries the Gini coefficient is based on income levels. So there is a huge difference here. One is the Gini coefficient based on consumption expenditure, another is the Gini coefficient based on income levels, and you cannot compare these two. First is that consumption inequality in general is likely to be much less compared to income inequality, because if, let's say, even if income levels vary like drastically among the poorest section of the society and the rich sections of the society, rich segment of the society, but still the rich section of the society is going to be saving much more, right? And the poorest section of the society, even if their income is less, they're going to be spending a higher proportion of their total income even to meet their necessities, right? So consumption expenditure, inequality in consumption expenditure is likely to be much less compared to if you look at the absolute income levels. So you cannot possibly compare income inequality with consumption inequality numbers. So 25.5 in India is actually consumption inequality number, whereas for any other country that we have here, the Gini coefficient, these values are for income inequality, because for other countries the data that is being taken for calculation of inequality is income, whereas for India the data that is being used is consumption expenditure surveys. So this 25.5 is consumption inequality, not your income inequality. Okay, so let's see and let's clarify things a bit more. So this paragraph is taken from the poverty and equity brief provided by the World Bank. What are we saying here? Read this. India's consumption based Gini index did improve definitely from 28.8 in 2011-12 to 25.5 in 22-23. Interesting, right? So definitely there has been an improvement in the Gini coefficient, but that is consumption based, not income based. And the World Inequality Database shows that income inequality increased from 52 in 2004 to 62 in 2023. So definitely we are not the fourth most equal society in the world. Okay, so next is, as we talked about the Kuznets ratio in our previous video. So see here, this is what we are looking at. What is the share of richest 10% in the total national income in some of the countries here? Okay, this graph I have taken from one article in the Wire, the link of which I will provide in the comment section. So what do you see here? This is the share of top 10% in the national income. Let's see which countries are we taking here. Some of the advanced economies, some European economies are there. Where is India in this graph? This is where India is, right? This green color. Okay, so as you can clearly see, India is much higher. The share of top 10% in India is much higher compared to a lot of other countries that we are taking here. India is somewhere near Brazil. This is Brazil, this yellow. Okay, and this is India, and here you also have South Africa. So India is somewhere near to South Africa and Brazil as far as looking at inequality in this particular way is concerned, looking at the share of the richest 10% in the total income. Okay, and also interestingly, the inequality in India in this particular sense has been increasing, right? See this, consistently increasing largely. Here it becomes a bit stable, but yeah. So we were saying that we are the fourth most equal country in the world, and only some of the European economies, including Slovenia, Slovakia, are ahead of us. And let's see where are these countries going by this particular indicator of inequality. So here you have Slovenia, much more equal than India, and this is Slovakia. Okay, so the point is that going by income inequality using the Gini index, also inequality in India has increased. Looking at this indicator, top 10% national income share, also India's inequality has increased. So India is somewhere close to South Africa and Brazil here, and inequality has been consistently increasing. Going by this particular indicator also, and going by the income based Gini coefficient as well. Okay, so you can refer to the World Bank inequality database for further details on this, and I'll provide the links of some of the reports in the comment section. Thank you.